Mono Green Stompy is actually one of my favorite archetypes of all time in Magic the Gathering, and whenever I come across one of these lists, I always have to try it out. And that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video because this one has been gaining in popularity online here and there. And it is also playing a very awesome card from Avatar, a card that I think was hyped up for a very short window and then it completely died out. That is the Diligent Zookeeper, a 4/4 for 4 human citizen ally, and it says creatures you control get +1/+1 for each of its creature types to a maximum of 10. I remember seeing posts about this card saying, oh my god, it's going to be insane. We're going to be playing changelings and they're all going to be getting +10/+10. And then very quickly, people realized that the card actually says each non human creature you control. And changelings are, in fact, humans. So it's not doing anything busted. And because it's not doing something that's busted, people moved away from this card. But it's still awesome. This is acting as like a super lord for the deck that we're playing today. So it is a mono green stompy list. Of course, we are going to be playing the Badgermole Cub package right here, the Gene Pollinator, Llanowar Elf, and Badgermole Cub, and then a whole bunch of other really good green creatures. But all of these creatures, with the exception of one creature, have multiple creature types. The Gene Pollinator is a robot insect, so it's going to get +2/+2 from the Diligent Zookeeper. Same thing with the Llanowar Elves, Elf Druid, Rabbit Warrior. You can see how it's going. Badger Mole. The only one that's not getting multiple +1/+1 bonuses from the Diligent Zookeeper is the Frenzied Bailiff. It's a beast. However, it's still a pretty insane card. It's going to make all of our creature spells uncounterable, and it's going to be uncounterable itself. So that's going to be very powerful these days since a lot of people are running Jeskai, and it can be a little bit hard to get cards onto the field through No More Lies and 3 Steps Ahead. And then, there are some cards in the deck that are even more insane. Sentinel of the Nameless City is getting +3/+3 because it's a more Murloc, Warrior, and a Scout. And then rounding things out, we have the Ouroboride, a plant worm. So if we have the Ouroboride on the field and then we slam down the Diligent Zookeeper, it's just a little bit more sauce. It's kind of a win more, but it's still kind of cool to do when you can pull it off. And I guess the final card to mention is, of course, Tyvar. Just a very powerful card because we are going to have a lot of mana. We need a mana dump. That's where Tyvar comes in. We can use his 5 CMC ability to give creatures +X/+X until the end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures we control. Usually that's going to be like +4/+4, +5/+5, something like that. In the lands, we do have the Soulstone Sanctuary. Unfortunately, it is all creature types, so it doesn't have any benefit from the Diligent Zookeeper, but it's still a 3/3 beater in some situations. So that's the deck. We're going to hop into some games and see how this one turns out. It's actually going to be the second time I'm recording this one, by the way, because I made the bonehead mistake of deleting some footage when I was very carelessly cleaning my hard drive. So it went okay the first time around. Let's see if it goes a little bit better this time. See you in the games. Mono Green Stompy. I do have to be a little bit careful with this one because we do have a ban announcement coming up very soon. Maybe this week or next week. I'm actually recording things a little bit ahead of time right now. So this is still a little bit early in the season, just a little peek behind the veil. Today is the 7th. We'll see if the Badgermole Cub is still around when I get around to posting this video, and let's just hope it is. We got a pretty good start here. We do have the Innkeeper's Talent coming in. Well, I guess we'll buff up the Gene Pollinator. Why not? It's possible that the Badgermole Cub is going to eat a Shelter by Ghost here. I think if the opponent has it, they're going to have to play it. They don't have it, so next turn we just go absolutely ham. Oh, okay, Seam Rip. So we still get to put down the Ouroboride, which means we get to put a +1/+1 counter onto the Ouroboride from the Innkeeper's Talent and buff up the crew. Now, I could go a little bit safer. I could go Diligent Zookeeper instead, and then next turn Ouroboride plus the level 2 from this. And honestly, I kind of like that a little bit more. So let's go out with the Diligent Zookeeper. Now, notably, I should have put it here. It's fine. The Diligent Zookeeper does not buff up your creature lands, your forest, because unfortunately, forest is not a creature type. I guess forest is technically a land type, so we are not getting any benefit from this. Okay, I'm not actually sure if I'm going to be doing the Innkeeper's Talent thing this turn. We'll see. So this is 4 mana. We are going to make our creatures very big. The problem is the opponent is actually doing quite a bit of damage to us, and Yeah, I think I need to pressure the opponent. So do I attack in for 16 or do I hold back for just a moment? So this is unblockable. I think I can afford to go in with the Diligent Zookeeper. And yeah, they block. They are down to 1 card. So I think they're going to have a pretty hard time killing me with... This is nice protection. I would rather have the blocker. It's fine. I don't need the Ward 2 or Ward 1. If they have the Shelter by Ghost, the Ward 1 is probably not going to matter. They did have the Optimistic Scavenger there, which they played out for 1 mana. If they had the Shelter by Ghost, of course, having the Ward 1 would have been good, but they just wouldn't have played out the Optimistic Scavenger in that case. And they didn't have anything. Next turn, we were going to put out the Frenzied Bailiff and just... Yeah, that's quite the board. All enabled because of everybody's favorite little critter, Badgermole Cub. So I got a little distracted there. I was talking about the possibility of Badgermole Cub leaving our wonderful lives. Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think we're going to lose access to our poor little cub next week? The ban, I can't remember what day it is, like May 17th, maybe something like that. Maybe I'll pop it up somewhere. I think it doesn't really matter because I think the announcement will have come and gone by the time I release this video. So I might get burned on this one, but it is what it is. If the Badgermole Cub eats it, you know what? I think this deck could shift a little bit, probably find a pretty good replacement for it, and still be a viable deck. You know, cards like Ouroborite are still incredibly powerful. Tyvar is insane as well. So, we'll see how it goes. We need a land desperately. Just ask, and you'll get it. Let's get in for 3 more damage. They don't have the removal for it, so Tyvar to the field. No protection for the Tyvar. Tyvar has a very powerful ability. Tap another untapped creature you control. Tyvar gains indestructible until the end of turn, and then we tap the Tyvar. But we don't have one open. I think it's fine. You know, just put them on the field. Unfortunate that we did not hit our... They're not going to give us... They're not going to trade the Baloth for the Mischievous Sneakling, I don't think. And if they do, I think it's fine. We didn't miss the land, but this turn we can go out with the Llanowar Elf, and then we have a creature that we can tap with the Tyvar to give him indestructible. Then we follow it up with the Ouroborite, and we should be just in a pretty good shape. Although now the opponent does have 2 Unholy Annexes on the field, and that's kind of a problem. They are gaining life. They are losing life thanks to this Mischievous Sneakling, which we cannot get off the field because we are playing an uninteractable deck. However, slam the Ouroborite. And now suddenly... Oh, do you have the... No, you don't have removal for 1 mana. Maybe they can kill the Frenzied Bailiff? You say Bailiff or Baloth? Does it matter? Wait. Baloth down, Mischievous Sneakling down also a little bit, and I guess we have to attack in for forward 6 damage, 4 and 2. We got to keep the pressure on the opponent, and next turn what we're going to do is we're going to obviously slam the Ouroborite, and then things get really goofy. Auto order triggered off, so we're going to have 2 Ouroborite on the field. I always have a problem with this. Is it better to stack the big one first or the small one first? I think it's big one goes first, right? I shouldn't think too hard about it. Okay, we are kind of on a 2-turn clock here. Actually, we're dead next turn if we don't kill the opponent here. So is it better for me to use Tyvar? Or is it better to do the Ouroborite? If I do Tyvar, everything's gonna get +6/+6. Right? So then I attack in with everything. They chump block one thing. They chump block the Tyvar. And then this will be going in for how much damage? 4, 8, 12. 4, 8 plus 12. 20 damage. So then they have to block both. Okay, I think it's actually Tyvar. Let's go. They have to double block. I'm pretty sure this is lethal, right? 4, 8, 12. Yeah. Did I say my math right? 4 plus 8 and then plus 12, 20. Yeah, I think I did figure that out, right? I was thinking properly. We got there against the demon deck. My friend actually messaged me this morning. I woke up. I haven't replied to him. I will get to it in a second. No, I did reply. That was last night. He said, "You want to improve your speaking? Just try thinking more." The audacity of someone to recommend that someone thinks more when they are very clearly a Badgermole Cub enjoyer, a slick shot show off enjoyer. We're not thinking around here. We're just living in the moment, blowing kisses to our opponents that are very friendly, opponents that have nasty things coming down the pipeline at us. But look at this opening hand. This is absolutely insane. All right, Burst Lightning on the Gene Pollinator to prevent the Frenzied Bailiff, which probably means that they have a follow-up removal spell for the Badgermole Cub. I don't think they would ever fire off the Burst Lightning on the Gene Pollinator and leave the Badgermole Cub alive, right? That'd be questionable. I suppose that was a mistake. We're missing 1 point of damage there again. I guess I should be thinking more. Wow. I wanted to get the Soulstone Sanctuary on the field so that it could be untapped at some point in the future, but it's not something that I'm going to be doing anytime soon. It 100% should have been the Forest, put out the Frenzied Bailiff, and then get in for 4 points of damage instead of 3. You do the right thing. You don't do the wrong thing like me. The opponent down to 1 card. Hearth Elemental's pretty good. Pretty good. So does that mean I need to try to jam the Ouroboride before I jam the Diligent Zookeeper? If I put up the Diligent Zookeeper, I still can't get in for any damage, so I may as well put the Ouroboride on the field. And then next turn, assuming that the Ouroboride sticks around, we don't get hit by a Sunderflock, the Diligent Zookeeper goes down, and we really... Oh man, that's a big card for the opponent. Okay. They must have a Sunderflock, right? This seems like a suspicious attack. Ooh, Eddie Crab. It's fine. It's fine. It's actually not fine. It's very not fine. Our mana is being tapped down, so I need to draw. Dang, I needed to draw a land there to be able to get the Diligent Zookeeper out. So we are kind of all in on making sure these Llanowar Elves get big enough. And again, Sunderflock, we die. You know, that's the name of the game. When you go up against Izzet Elementals, do they have the Sunderflock? Yes. Okay, GG. Clean it up. Move on to the next game. If they don't have it, then maybe we can get through these very powerful discounted cards. All right. Well, slam the Diligent Zookeeper. Ooh, nice from the opponent. They don't seem to have anything. Detect Intruders. Sneaky boy. Am I going in with the Llanowar Elves? I think I'm going in with the Llanowar Elves. Yeah, sure. Give me an Eddie Crab. I'm surprised you trade off the Eddie Crab there. Why don't you trade off the Hearth Elemental? Why don't you give... Well, no, I guess it's an even trade. That's why you do it, because it's a 5/5 for a 5/5. Okay, they need a land and a Sunderflock. Oh, there's the land. Oh, don't do it to me. They say good game. What does that mean? GG, opponent. I enjoyed it. We were living on the edge the whole time. Ooh. Got lucky. Lucky. I'm in 3. Let's go. All right. So far, the Cub deck, I'll say it has been operating a little bit smoother than it did the last one. I've been doing okay with the deck. Like, the deck has a good win rate. I don't know if I should pull it up now. Maybe I'll pull it up. I should have mentioned it in the intro because I do have a positive win rate with the deck. Yeah, it's good. But we might be in trouble here if our opponent goes turn 1 Llanowar Elf, turn 2 Badgermole Cub on the play. It's a little hard for us to compete with that, especially since we are without our Ouroboride or Diligent Zookeeper this time around. So a little bit of a yikes for us. What are we doing? Gene Pollinator. And then putting out the Innkeeper's Talent. Maybe just to start putting +1/+1s on the field. I don't think I'm attacking in with the 3/2. I guess I could have probably attacked it with the 3/2. They would let that damage just through. There's no way they're gonna block with the Badgermole Cub, and of course we have Trample, so they can't shadow block with the Fabled Passage. Yeah, we might be in a little bit of a spot here against a Landfall deck. Landfall always potent, especially if they end up having here the Harmonizer or Man, they could drop the sapling nursery right now. They have one more land. White farm harmonizer. Okay, bad news. That's a lot of damage coming through now. Is that lethal damage? 4, 8, 12, 16, 16 damage. Are they going to blow their load right now on the Badgermole Cub doing 16 points of damage? Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, well, I mean, that's interesting. They didn't have a pump spell, thankfully. If they had a pump spell, of course, it would have been GG, but 16 is not 20, so we might be able to stabilize here. I don't know. We have a lot of... We're going to be able to put a lot of creatures on the board. So let's go with the Llanowar Elf. Let's go with the Tyvar. Tyvar is actually a fantastic blocker these days because he can gain indestructible. He'll just kind of hang out here on the field. So the opponent might have a little bit of a hard time getting through. I also feel like I need to start putting a lot of pressure on the opponent's life total. Is attacking here foolish? I think it's okay. I think I can get in for 2 damage with one creature. Might be okay. Okay, Mossy. Mossy is a big old problem for me because it's got trample and it's now a 2/2. So if they end up finding Ice Till Explorer, we're dead. In fact, there are a lot of things that mean we just die because of this Mossborn Hydra. Which means maybe I should level this up to the max level. I can definitely do that. And then Tyvar will become a 6/6. It's not the worst idea, but it might not be the... I don't know. I think I need to put as much stuff in front of this Mossborn Hydra as I can, but we can die just, you know, at any moment. I also think it's not a big deal to put out the rabbit because we're just going to tap down the Innkeeper's Talent. So we're still netting 1 blocker. Okay, it's a little bit less power, but I'm kind of all in on Tyvar being able to block Mossy. What would win it for us? Probably what we'd like to see. Oh, man. That's bad news. That's bad news. What we'd like to see is maybe an Ouroboride off the top. Imagine that. Ouroboride coming to save the day. There's the Ice Till Explorer, so we lose. They grab that. Very fun, interactive game of Magic here. Green versus green. Everybody just doing their stupid plan. And why is the opponent... Oh? They're not putting out the Ice Till Explorer? Oh, no, they have the mana for it. Of course they do. Okay, we're not going to go through this. They have 4 mana right here. They put down the Ice Till Explorer. The Mossborn Hydra is going to grow infinitely large, and we're going to get hit by it. Everyone's favorite card, Ice Till Explorer and Mossborn Hydra. What a wonderful combination, right? Inked by Me is our 5th opponent. Games are going... Yeah, they go quite smoothly, quite quickly. Opening hand is good. We have our first Sentinel of the Nameless City showing up. This card, you know what? I really want to try this card with the Feaster, the new demon, the big 7/6 trampoline demon that makes you gain life. And I like the idea of this card because it creates map tokens. If you are in a spot where you can't quite gain life for the big demon to not become angry, then at least you have some map tokens to sacrifice from the Sentinel of the Nameless City. So the idea is neat, I will say. Well, Voice of Victory for the opponent might mean that they are probably on a... I don't know. No, you know what? This is probably just the Boros Mobilize aggro list, which does have some removal with the Stadium Headliner. Yeah, there it is. So that's going to be a bit of a problem, but we can put... I can put the Ouroboride on the field this turn. The problem is the Stadium Headliner is going to be able to smoke it next turn, but if they want to get up to 4, maybe they might have to attack it with the Voice of Victories, and at least they'll give us the Voice of Victories because we can block with the Pop Hatch and the Badgermole Cub. So I think they might have to work... If they just have a creature, they might be fine here. I mean, there's a lot of things that they can do. They can still sacrifice now. Okay, now they can't sacrifice. Okay, so that might have sealed the game for the opponent. I think in this position, the opponent had to kill. They had to kill the Ouroboride there, because now we slammed the Diligent Zookeeper that we top decked so wonderfully, and everything is going to get way out of control here. Our Ouroboride is going to go up to 10 toughness. And I think 10 toughness is a big ask for the opponent. They're going to have to attack with their entire board and give us so much, and they're going to die on the backswing. I don't think they have enough power to push through 19 points of damage and remove our Ouroboride. And we have Trample on the Paw Patch Recruit, which is going to be a huge problem for the opponent. Okay, so they're going for it. They don't have the mana to remove the Ouroboride, so they're just all in YOLO attack. That's not going... I don't think this does it, right? I could be wrong. I always underestimate the amount of damage that this Shocking Sharpshooter can do. Triggers everywhere. It's a lot of triggers. We're taking another 5 points of damage here. We need to mitigate as much as we possibly can. Oh man, this might actually be enough. It's all a bunch of 1/1, so we just block like this. And is that 12 points of damage coming through? Doesn't look like it. Whoa. GG opponent, very close one. All right, let's just we'll just go to combat and swinging at the opponent. Loved it. Love seeing it. The opponent just they played their hand and they did what they had to do. Honestly though, I think the real play, the reason they probably would have been in a lot better shape had they taken one turn before flooding out the board there with like the Shocking Sharpshooter to attack in with maybe the Voice of Victory, or maybe even just a Stadium Headliner. And they would have had 4 creatures on the field. I think they had an opportunity to attack in with something. Maybe it was they attack in with Stadium Headliner, create the mobilized creature, and when they have 4 creatures on the field with the mobilized creature, then they sacrifice the Stadium Headliner to deal 4 damage to the Ouroboride to remove it. They had to get rid of this. Game number 6 is against Finger Pro. I'm scared. What's Finger Pro? What makes you a pro? Focus up. We are against an Uthros, which means it means Kona. I haven't seen Kona in such a long time. We get to deal with a Kona? Oh no. That's exactly what's happening here. So this one might be super fast. I was kind of looking at the time and the number of games I've played so far. 5 games so far in the bank. Am I going to be able to get 7 in, or maybe try to stretch it to 10? I don't know. But if we're facing off a Kona on turn 4, this one might be a little bit of a quick one. But we have good pressure. I guess what we'll do is we'll go turn 3 Tyvar. Formidable Speaker. Okay, no. Now we're going to go turn 3 Innkeeper's Talent into the level up, I suppose, on the Innkeeper's Talent. Unless we draw a Llanowar Elf or a Gene Pollinator. Nope. Okay, so we'll go with this plan because this allows us to push damage through. If we put up the Tyvar, we weren't going to be able to put anything through. I think this is probably the best thing to keep the aggression going on the opponent's face as much as we possibly can. But they do have now the Meringue River region. They could possibly have the turn 4 Kona. Of course, this deck, don't expect to be winning against the Kona or Kavaro decks very often because, I mean, we just don't have the interaction to stop them to deal with whatever they're doing. And it's just going to be a situation where we kind of got to let it happen. Hey, Ouroboride, uncounterable Ouroboride. They could have Into the Floodmaw, which if you have Into the Floodmaw right now, you wait until we try to put the Innkeeper's Talent +1/+1 counter onto the Ouroboride. Yep, that's the way we want to do it. Sure. Okay. So the opponent needs to kill us next turn, or we probably kill them. They're effectively at 9 life with the Formidable Speaker's toughness. So they need to drop Kona. They need to have Omniscience in hand. I think just dropping Kona with the Meringue River region is maybe pretty good, but we do have the ward 1. It does help a little bit. The opponent's pausing though. A Finger Pro would not be hesitating to slam down a Kona if Finger Pro had a Kona. Should I hit him? Should I hit him with the Your Go? All right. Let's hit him with the Your Go and then hit him with the Iroh Heart just to make our own fun. Oh, I'm egging on the Kona. Oh no. Oh, oh man, I willed that one into existence, I guess. You know what? They were just like doing some scripting stuff. They were just hacking the system, trying to get it in. Yeah, that's all that was. And these cheaters these days are unbelievable. All right, ward 1, they can pay for it. Pretty good. So they still don't have the Kona. Man, we miss on our land. The land would have been kind of... land would have been irrelevant, I guess. But, okay. What did I say? They miss on the Kona. No, they miss on the Omniscience. So we just have to take one more turn to hope that they don't have something huge here. If they have another Meringue River Regent, we are pretty much toast at this point. Finger Pro fingered Kona into existence. I don't know. There was a weird delay there. There's no way they had Kona in their hand. And these hackers. Hey, let's see what's under Kona number 2. Hopefully it's just like a land. Wouldn't that be fantastic? They're holding 3 lands in hand. Next turn we slam the Diligent Zookeeper and just absolutely slam face. I think survival, I love survival. I think survival is a very cool mechanic. But I think it was written incorrectly. It was written incorrectly. It should say, at the beginning of your second main phase, if this creature is tapped and attacked, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. I do not think... Whoa, that's huge for the opponent. That loss of the mage is big, big, big. We're dead. Yeah, I think survival should have been, did this creature survive combat? And if this creature did survive combat like this, then you get the bonus. I do not think it should be if it's just tapped. So wording could have been a little bit better on this one. The opponent, hey, you know what? That's a non-omniscience Kona win. Good for you, opponent. We do not have haste, right? We don't have anything we can do here. Little unfortunate. If we had drawn a Frenzy Bailiff, we could have won there. They went all in. And just unfortunate that we didn't have any kind of hasty stuff to crack back. So yeah, tough loss from the Kona, but it's actually kind of neat to see Kona's actually using Lost in the Maze in a more offensive or defensive, I don't know, in a different way. Instead of just protecting their creatures, they used it to stop our attack. Game number 7, let's see if we can get back after a pretty hard loss against Kona. I don't know. You don't like losing it. And of course, we were so close. If we had drawn a Frenzy Bailout, man, we would have been in such good shape. But it doesn't always work that way. However, if we draw I was going to say Badgermole Cub off the top, that would have been pretty sweet. So, in this spot, do you go, you know what? Because I'm against what I'm assuming is going to be a Jeskai opponent, I'm going to try to get the Paw Patch recruits on the field so that all of their lightning helixes and all that are going to cost them a little bit more. Dang, we missed on the land. Dang. Okay, let's attack in with the Paw Patch recruit and the baby Paw Patch recruit. See what they do, if they have any reaction to this. We are losing a little bit of damage here with the Innkeeper's talent not triggering, but I think it's fine. I was hoping they were going to do something. So we'll just put that on the field. We'll put the Gene Pollinator on the field and then see if... yeah, there's the Lightning Helix. Okay. That's fine. Let's put them on the Rabbit to incentivize them to kill the Rabbit instead of our Mana Dorks. Next turn, we can put down the Ouroboride if we have a clear opening. And if we draw a land, Ouroboride plus the level 2 on the Innkeeper's talent could be pretty awesome. That's a big ask, though, if we have an opening. I don't know. It might actually just be Frenzy Bailiff and level up the Innkeeper's Talent. Okay. So they hit that. That means I'm going to put out the Frenzied Bailiff with the Land of War Elf mana. We'll put the +1/+1 on that, I suppose. And yeah, I guess we'll also put the +1/+1 on the Gene Pollinator one more time just to get it up to a 3/4 to make it a little bit harder for the opponent to remove with future Lightning Helixes. You know they have 6 more. I've never known an opponent not to have 6. Now they are up to Day of Judgment mana, though. Day of Judgment mana means that we can't really play anything else to the board, so I might actually spend the next turn leveling up the Innkeeper's Talent to level 3, which sucks because that's a lot of damage that I'm going to be losing with the Gene Pollinator unless I find the 3rd land. But I really don't want to commit more than 3 creatures to the board in the face of a Day of Judgment. The Seer. Okay. Oh, man. Come on, game. Come on. All right, Frenzy Bailiff, it's fine. And is it worth it to put the Paw Patch Recruit on the field? I don't know. Probably not. Gene Pollinator, getting swole. Get in for 8 damage is not bad. But they have another... Oh, it's just a Get Lost. Okay, I'd rather them use the Get Lost on the Frenzy Bailiff rather than the Innkeeper's Talent. And that also kind of tells me that maybe they don't have the Day of Judgment. Because certainly in that position, you would use the Day of Judgment. You would use the Get Lost on the Innkeeper's Talent. So I think we got a little bit of information there from the opponent. They can go shields down by casting this Consult the Star Charts this turn. Okay, there you go. They kicked it. That's interesting. Took 2 points of damage so that they were able to kick that. So how much damage do I actually have here? It's not quite enough, right? So this would give me... No, it's not quite enough because man, the mana situation is so bad. And if we get board wiped on the following turn, then we don't have any haste. Like, everything is just a little bit awkward because of our mana base, because we missed too many forests. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just going to level up the Innkeeper's Talent, put 2 counters onto the Gene Pollinator, and get in for 6 damage. What an awkward position there. We were so close to being able to have lethal damage on the opponent, but now I think at 5, 6 mana from the opponent, 7, 8 with the Tablet of Discovery, they can pretty much do whatever they want. And yeah, Jeskai Revelation, pretty good card. So now our only hope is, I don't know. I don't think I have any kind of hope. Yeah, that's just the case against the Jeskai decks. You kind of stumble ever so slightly, and you just you obviously need to be aggressive enough on those turn 1, 2, 3, 4 to be able to go before they start playing out their haymakers. Once they get up to their haymakers, like, what are you really going to do? And when you're sitting here and your deck is just like being an idiot and not hitting any lands, tough one. Another tough one. We were destined to lose that one. Ouch. 2 in a row. Oh man, I'm gonna keep going though. All right, we gotta get past that bad variance. Sometimes it happens. You run into bad matchups, you run into bad draws, but you just gotta put on a strong face and push through. 2 lands, but we do have the Land of War Elf. If we find the 3rd land with the Ouroboride and the Diligent Zookeeper, maybe we'll be okay. Man, these games are so much harder when you are not on the play and you don't have Badgermole Cub. Maybe Badgermole Cub getting banned from this list would actually be more detrimental than I'm imagining. Jazz's Chocobo, so we are against traditional landfall, and they have their wonderful Promising Bane and a Badgermole Cub. Yikes. Big yikes. Big yikes. Big yikes. So from here, I guess we go Gene Pollinator, Innkeeper's Talent, put the +1/+1 on the Gene Pollinator to have a little bit of a blocker, and then we gear up towards the Ouroboride next turn. Ouroboride putting +2/+2 on things. As long as they don't have the Mossborn Hydra, we might be okay. The Mossborn Hydra is where things get very sketchy. I can block this right now. This is not a big deal. Chaz's Chocobo becoming a big deal. Suddenly, baby chicken is getting out of control here. Okay. Well, we're sticking to the plan. Or Boride on the field. We put our counter on it. I don't think it's worth it to give Ward 1 to my creatures here because, I mean, what kind of interaction is the green deck going to have? I just need to make sure that they're not able to do as much damage each turn as possible, and then we get the Diligent Zookeeper on the field, and then eventually this Frenzied Bailiff with Trample is going to maybe help us push through the damage. That might seal it for us. They're warping it in, meaning that they probably have a game plan here. Okay, Shaz's Chocobo. Now Shaz's Chocobo, oh, it will have Trample. Dang. And it's it's so big, yeah. Everybody's comboing these days. Man, oh man, we're either getting Jeskai Revelation or we're getting Kona comboed, or we're getting Harmonizer comboed. Yikes. Okay, we're gonna find some wins, and now we're 4-4 now. I don't like it. I don't like this. We were doing so well. Abian is our 9th opponent, our 9th victim, because we're definitely gonna be coming back. We get to play first. We have our Badgermole Cub, but we don't have the turn 1 Llanowar Elf. Last game was definitely Badgermole Cub difference. It was a very clear situation what was happening there. Your opponent. How do you beat the Badgermole Cub when you don't have interaction? You don't. So you should be packing your interaction. What is this thing over here? Oh, maybe it just hasn't loaded. It's the book? Yeah. Okay, Paw Patch is the best I can do on turn 1, and we'll hope that the opponent doesn't have such a powerful or aggressive start, interactive start. Ooh, okay, so I like this matchup. This matchup is actually pretty favorable for us, I believe. They can kill us very suddenly. The Rakdos Cool But Rude deck, obviously tons of power, but they need certain pieces to be able to do it quickly. Leading with the Bloodthorn Flail maybe indicates that things are not as quick as the opponent would like. They do have their mana online though. And they definitely do have Requiting Hexes and what have you. So they can get rid of the Badgermole Cub. Bitter Triumph. Discarding the Inti. Interesting. Okay. So that sets us back a little bit, but we can still... Is it actually just Frenzied Bailiff, maybe? No, I think it's going to be Tyvar. Let's get the Tyvar on the field. If they want to spend mana killing the Tyvar, I'm so fine with that. Our Power Patch recruit gets a little bit bigger, and we'll be in really good shape. Inti, is that all you got? No, they do have the land. Starting Town on turn 3. Lucky boy. I love the art on Starting Town. How do you feel about Starting Town? It's been a little while since it's been around. I remember this card was so hyped up. It's super expensive in paper, I believe. And we, unfortunately, miss on our land. So, it's probably just slam this and go in. Yeah. We're bringing the pump, bringing the heat. And then I guess we put out also the Gene Pollinator and just hope that we don't die on the next turn. If we make it through one more turn. It's such an insane thing. I hate what I say sometimes. Oh, it's turn 4 and I'm at 20 life. If I survive this turn, I'll be okay. Which maybe is just me being stupid, but like that's kind of the vibe I get. I don't know if there was any combination of things that they could do with probably this deck doesn't have the output power to kill us on with 4 mana at 20 life. No. But still some decks do, and that's why I'm so scared these days. All right, it's our 10th and final game. We'll see if we go 5-5 or 6-4. In the previous recording, I went 6-4. So if we win this one, we will have yes, we will have done the exact same thing that I did a few days ago before I deleted my footage foolishly. Oh man, I was so annoyed when I did it yesterday. I was just okay. I have limited hard drive space. That's the case, and these videos are big. So after I record a couple of videos, my hard drive gets a little bit full. So then I start looking at like, okay, well, what can I remove to make a little bit of space so I can maybe start recording more stuff. And so that's the situation. That's what happened. And I accidentally clicked on something that I shouldn't have clicked on, and I just deleted it. And of course, because I'm so like on top of it, I just immediately went over to my recycle bin, because that thinking thing, I don't think, went over to the recycle bin and immediately cleared the recycle bin, and all those files vanished into the ether. And I tried to recover them, but I was not able to do that. Okay, this burst lightning puts us behind quite a bit, but the opponent seemingly on not having a whole lot to do here. And you know what? I'm just going to go in with the Llanowar Elf. I will chump block with the Forest if I need to. And then once we get the Ouroborite on the field, if the opponent is stuck on 2 mana, there's a very good chance that we'll be able to overwhelm the opponent. Sheltered by Ghost is good, but they miss on their land. And they eat the Llanowar Elf, which is not a big deal. So from here, I think I do still want to block with the Forest. We get the Forest back anyway, so it's not like we're... I guess I am losing, technically, power. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the right block, because now my board is a little bit weaker than it could have been. But against a red opponent, I don't really want to be taking that much damage. Oh, man. No block. The most they could do here is 9. Okay. And I suppose this is where things just kind of get out of control, right? Let's get in with the Ouroborite. Start getting their life total down a little bit. And then next turn, if we end up putting out the other Diligent Zookeeper, then getting +4/+4 on the already big Ouroborite is going to be pretty good. And we end up sneaking it in. I think we got a little lucky there with the opponent getting stuck at 2 mana. But hey, we finished 6-4 just like before. Rhyming Smith over here, and we get up to Diamond Tier 3. All right, so I had a blast playing this Stompy Zoo list. You know what? I think this is as honest as you can get with a Badgermole Cub deck, and for that reason, I kind of like this one. It is a humbler deck than some of the other landfall combo stuff that is going on that just wants to kill you. But honestly, this deck is doing basically the exact same thing. Once you get the Diligent Zookeeper or the Ouroborite on the field, you know, things just get out of control really quickly. But still, I think it's a little bit more of a toned down version of Badgermole Cub if you don't want to just play the typical Pro Tour winning landfall decks that are around. Of course, those decks are very powerful. We got destroyed twice by them, right, in this set of games. I'm pretty sure 2 of the losses were to me getting killed by Harmonizer shenanigans, if I'm not misremembering. So obviously very powerful strategy, especially when people are running limited interaction. But lots of interaction out there these days, so I think getting in with a Mossborn Hydra is getting a little bit harder and harder. That being said, you do run into opponents like myself who are just on mono Green Stompy and do not have a single piece of interaction. So if you want to be the ultimate Timmy, if you want to be this guy right here, wearing his dinosaur outfit, rocking dinosaur sleeves, honestly, I should probably just have... I think I have a raptor, don't I? Where's my raptor? There. It should have been the cave raptor the whole time. If you want to be that guy, you run this list. This is a whole lot of fun. Unfortunately, this list is outrageously expensive. It's easier for me to tell you the cards that are not rares and mythics. There. And then the rest of the deck is money.deck, but that's the way 2026 Magic is. So if you enjoyed this one, let me know down in the comments. I really appreciate all the comments, of course. I cannot remember what I said in the 2 videos that I deleted last week, so I might be repeating things here and there, but I do want to say thank you to all the new people that have joined up and all the wonderful warm comments that I have been getting. Very nice comments these days. And I do definitely appreciate that. It is very motivating to receive those comments. So if you want to keep motivating me, yeah, say hi down in the chat and let me know what you're thinking about things. That's it for this one. Sarang Ipana, and I will catch all of you wonderful people in the next video. Bye-bye.